Don't you want to get rich overnight? Don't you want to have billions? A man who doesn't want to be rich is not a good man, and a woman who doesn't want to be rich is not a good wife. The empty room was filled with deceptive banners. This is a huge fraud organization.
2 wooden tables form a single bed. Carol Kaiser just graduated from college. He never found a job and was eventually tricked into joining a fraud organization and went astray.
Carol Kaiser rubbed his dizzy head. Yesterday, I heard that my boss had done something big, so I invited a fool to hold a celebration party. Kaiser ate and drank with him. All Carol Kaiser remembers was everyone toasting him and pouring him wine. He couldn't remember what happened next. Ding dong, the God-level tycoon system has been successfully bound. Damn, wait, what's going on? What binding is successful? I haven't confirmed it yet. Carol Kaiser was startled by the strange sound that suddenly appeared in her head. He watched helplessly as the God-level tycoon rich system was about to be bound out a look of disbelief. Carol Kaiser never expected that such a good thing would fall into his hands. After all, growing up, Carol Kaiser never picked up a penny on the street. Although he finally found a job after graduating from college, he was deceived into a fraudulent organization. One can imagine his luck. So, Carol Kaiser refused without thinking. Ding dong, your opinion is not important. The God-level tycoon system continues to be bound. I can only passively accept it. Carol Kaiser was overwhelmed. Ding dong, the God-level tycoon system is successfully bound. When Carol Kaiser heard a series of ding-dong sounds in his head, he was suddenly confused, depressed, and a little unbelievable. No, this is definitely a dream. Carol Kaiser squeezed his thigh hard. Ouch. The painful scream almost ruptured Carol Kaiser's eardrums. It hurts, Carol Kaiser. Why are you up so early in the morning and still squeezing my thigh? The guy lying next to Carol Kaiser, nicknamed Old Ghost, rubbed the place where he had just been pinched, staring angrily at Carol Kaiser. Old Ghost made a living by fortune-telling and divination, and he was very happy here, which made Carol Kaiser quite envious. However, what Carol Kaiser didn't expect was that Old Ghost was also left behind with his. Carol Kaiser smiled awkwardly and said, "Let me see if I'm dreaming." "You see if you're dreaming? You just pinched my leg. Why don't you pinch your own leg?" Old Ghost laughed in anger. "Pinching my own leg hurts too much. I'm afraid I can't stand it." Carol Kaiser said righteously. "Kaiser, you." The Old Ghost was so angry that he almost couldn't breathe. This bastard knows how painful it is to pinch his own leg. But when he pinches someone else's leg, does he think it won't hurt? Old Ghost, calm down first. It's a trivial matter. We are brothers. Is it necessary to do such a trivial matter? By the way, all those bastards ran away, only the 2 of us are left. Do you know what happened? Seeing that the Old Ghost was about to take action, Carol Kaiser quickly pulled him back and tried to persuade him. "What? Are you saying that yesterday's celebration was fake? These bastards got me drunk on purpose?" After hearing what the Old Ghost said, Carol Kaiser looked at him suspiciously. The Old Ghost was afraid that Carol Kaiser would lose control and hit him. The old arms and legs couldn't stand the torment, so they nodded quickly. Yes, that's what it is. Impossible, absolutely impossible. I am the most highly educated elite in the organization. I've done a lot of great things for the organization. How could you bastards abandon me so ruthlessly?" Carol Key shook his head repeatedly, his face full of indignation. The Old Ghost sneered and exposed Carol Kaiser's words. "Do you still have the nerve to say such things? The boss thought you were a top student, so he roped you into the gang. Who knew that you, a college student, are such trash? The boss asked you to recruit people, but you didn't. Instead, you squandered the group's funds all day long. But you, boy, are very good at fighting. We begged you to leave, but you refused. You just stayed in the organization all day, eating and drinking for free. The organization is afraid of you." Carol Kaiser coldly taunted the Old Ghost. What about you? Aren't you also abandoned by them? You're no better than me." Old Ghost, taking advantage of the opportunity to tell fortunes for women in the organization, he almost slept with the boss's woman. The Old Ghost turned red, waved his hand, and changed the subject. "Ahem, just forget about the past. Now let's think about what to do next. Are we going to continue doing the same defrauding thing we did before?" Carol Kaiser shook his head. "Old Ghost, it's up to you from now on. At least we'll get through this together. Or you go out and make money by divination, and then share it with me." Before Carol Kaiser finished speaking, the Old Ghost's face turned dark and he had quietly slipped to the door and turned around to say goodbye. "Carol Kaiser, let's say goodbye. I may be able to survive alone, but if I take you with me, there will be only death. If we are destined, we will meet again." The Old Ghost coughed lightly, then turned and left. Old Ghost, damn it, he actually ran away. Don't regret it. Carol Kaiser was very angry. The Old Ghost came to a hidden alley and saw that Carol Kaiser did not follow him. He couldn't help but smile. "Fortunately, I have accumulated some savings in my daily life, so I can survive for a while. If I stayed with Carol Kaiser, a little bastard who only wants to eat and wait to die, I would starve to death sooner or later." Carol Kaiser was the only one left in the huge room. Previously, the organization would provide food. So Carol Kaiser had no habit of saving money. This time, he touched his pocket and found that it was empty. Will I, Carol Kaiser, be the first genius to starve to death? Ding dong. Carol Kaiser is betrayed and left homeless, triggering the newbie quest. Novice mission, God-level Tycoon experience card. Mission description, experience the God-level Tycoon mode in one day and spend as much as you want. System support, there is no limit on the amount of bank card accounts within 24 hours. Mission failure, punishment, death. Haha. Carol Kaiser quickly took out his mobile phone and opened the payment software. Looking at the string of numbers inside, he couldn't help but laugh. Carol Kaiser stood in front of her usual hot dog and hamburger stand, feeling a little worried. Asa God-level tycoon. Would it be too cheap to have a burger for breakfast? Would he be despised by the system? Gurgle. Fuck. Forget it. Fill up your stomach first. Boss, give me a burger, add a hot dog, add meat, whatever is delicious, add it, and 2 cups of coffee. Carol Kaiser shouted at the boss with confidence. Okay. The roadside stall owner replied. After Carol Kaiser ate and drank enough, he planned to go to a nearby clothing brand store and change a set of clothes. So Carol Kaiser directly opened the taxi app, decisively chose the luxury car. Dude, I clearly chose the luxury car. What do you mean by driving me a Lexus? Look down on me, don't you? Carol Kaiser looked at the car that stopped in front of him, which looked very much like a Lexus ES, and knocked on the window. Dude, this is Lexus LC, 100,000. The other party explained with a wry smile. Ahem. Carol Kaiser couldn't help but blush, opened the rear door and got in. Well, not bad, the low-key and connotative Lexus suits his god-level tycoon title. Want building? I heard that the entry threshold is 4 to 5 million, and those with only a few thousand assets are not eligible to enter. Under the contemptuous gaze of the security guard at the door, Carol Kaiser strutted into the building. Oh my god, this guy came in wearing cheap clothes. I saw it all, what's the big deal? Showed the poor guy the world. A middle-aged woman who was obviously menopausal came over. Seeing Carol Kaiser looking dirty and wearing cheap clothes, she angrily scolded him. Hey, poor guy, don't touch it. If you get dirty, even if you sell yourself, you won't have enough money for this piece of clothing. Fuck, isn't it just selling clothes? So dog-eyed to look down on people, Carol Kaiser glanced coldly at the Japanese brand counter saleswoman and the menopausal old woman. Although Carol Kaiser has walked out of the Japanese brand counter, the cynicism of the saleswoman behind can still be heard. Carol Kaiser turned and walked into the Givenchy brand counter. When the female salesperson saw that Carol Kaiser's suit was worth no more than 100, she immediately lost interest in greeting Carol Kaiser warmly. One of the old saleswomen gestured to an intern. Vivian, you go and take care of that poor guy. Don't let him get the clothes dirty or wrinkled, otherwise, even if you sell yourself, you won't be enough to pay. Although the old saleswoman deliberately lowered her voice and whispered in Vivian's ear, Carol Kaiser still heard it. Carol Kaiser sneered and prepared to turn around and leave. I'm here to consume, but you look down on me. I don't believe it, I can't spend money today. Sir, do you want to buy clothes? Let me show you around. Vivian saw Carol Kaiser was about to turn around and leave, and hurriedly stepped forward to retain Carol Kaiser.